Hello, I am Galaxy StarCraft. This is a game between Naniwa and Whitera. Yes, Day 9 did talk about this on his channel, and probably many of you have seen these games. But I had so much fun casting one of these games actually before Day 9 even talked about it. I thought I'd do the rest of them. And I actually did do the one on Lost Temple between these players, and it got lost. Made the recording and somehow it didn't make it. Just went to the trash or something happened. So yes, they did get lost recording. So this is going to be the third game in this series between these two players in the ESL Cup, and it was played probably within like a week ago or within the past week, I think. And a little bit about me: I am Galaxy. I do cast games on here on this YouTube thing. I love casting StarCraft 2, so it's what I do. Was going to be casting some live tournament today action, but my boss from the Rush Network hasn't gotten to me today. He told me to show up, but he hasn't really communicated anything to me, so I don't really know what's going on. Sometimes these things work out, sometimes they don't, because it's just life. Things don't go the way we expect. Okay, we have some scouting action from Naniwa. He does see a gateway. That's not very exciting to see, but very comforting. I mean, if you play Protoss and you're going against a Protoss, you still see a gateway every time. I mean, that's just going to be boring. Everyone says they hate mirror matchups, but I don't know. I think they're kind of cool though. Duckload, aka Whitera, putting this pylon here. If he chose to, he could hide a Stargate. He could. It's also good for warping in on the low ground, although his pylon could have been a little bit further to north, to get that good warp in place. But I don't really know why you need to warp in units here. A better position would probably be right here or here. Anyhow, no big deal. The Cybernetics Core and Assimilator now going down for Whitera. Meanwhile, it looks like an identical thing from Naniwa. Naniwa is down 2-0, or 0-2 rather. So Whitera beat Naniwa the first two games. One was on, let's see, Lost Temple. The other one was on Metalopolis, I believe. And so this is the best of 5. If Naniwa loses this game, he's out. But we all know kind of, if you've seen these games, then we know kind of what happens. But that's okay. We're going to pretend that we don't know. Nani is going apeshit over here at the Xel'naga Tower. Looks like Whitera is doing a little dance with the Zealot. And Whitera does have a Stalker out now. So Whitera decided not to build a Zealot at all, and he's building a Stargate. Okay, now... Actually, no, the Stargate is being built by Naniwa. My mistake. Now, Whitera is building the Robo Facility and Gateway. I don't think he's aware of the Stargate. Let's see. No, he's not really aware of the Stargate. Whitera pushes away this probe. Always good, if you have a probe at the Xel'naga Tower, keep an eye on your minimap, because if a Stalker's coming, you might want to run it away. Whitera has control of this tower also. For those of you who are newer, these Xel'naga Towers do give vision, so all this is the vision of Whitera right now, just by having one unit here, so it's very, very handy dandy, especially if you're Terran, because it'll give vision to your tanks. Looking at the APM tab, hovering about 200 for Naniwa, 120 for Whitera. The number for Whitera, I'm sure, will go up quite a bit once things really get going. The first 5 to 10 minutes or so, usually I'd say the first 5 minutes, it's just a lot of spamming, and spamming is not a bad thing. It can actually warm up your fingers so that when you need them to go fast, they'll actually respond. Looks like we have a Phoenix out now for Naniwa. Interesting play. You don't often see Phoenix, a fast Phoenix for Protoss players. And Whitera has 3 warp gates and robotics. He accidentally pressed the G button and made a little mistake there. His sentries don't have any energy now. Whitera cancels the robotics bay after seeing this Phoenix. And so he is now high on money and gas after canceling that and is going for a fast expansion. But meanwhile, Naniwa is going to be pushing with his ground, his infantry, and his air. Whitera doesn't know about it because he only has this Xel'naga tower. So Whitera isn't really going to be prepared here. I'd say he's very vulnerable. This expansion could be good for Whitera, but here comes the attack. If this attack does well, Whitera could be in danger of losing. In fact, Whitera is now running away with these stalkers, trying to shoot at the phoenixes, and he's got to be careful. Oh my gosh, all of Anani's units have gone up the ramp. The sentries did have enough for a force field, but Whitera decided to run away. Looks like probes now coming out the line for Whitera. Stalkers trying to get at the phoenixes. They actually aren't targeting fire the phoenixes. All stalkers for Nani are taking out the stalkers of Whitera, and phoenixes are lifting up these stalkers from Whitera. Looks like Whitera is going to lose this game, possibly. I don't quite know, but it looks like Whitera is losing all of his units. These Phoenix are doing a great job of just picking up these stalkers from Whitera and picking them one at a time. Or the expansion for Whitera is finished now. He's held out the first attack. If Nani decides to continue to press in, Whitera could be in a lot of trouble. However, nothing being built right now for Whitera, only a photon cannon. Meanwhile, another Phoenix, two more gateways for Nani on the way. Nani is not going to be, oh my gosh, he's just go straight into a 4-gate, and he's going to go put on the massive pressure, and massive pressure is not good when you have an expansion that you can't defend. Whitera is crumbling. His days are numbered in this game. Oh no. Oh no. How many Phoenixes do we have on here? It looks like 6 Phoenixi, phalanx. 6 phalanx are on the map. Let's look at the unit station. It looks like even number of probes, but only 2 stalkers out for Duckload Ra, aka Whitera. 1 photon cannon. And whoa, actually, I forgot to close that there. Pretend we didn't see that. This was an interesting case of Phoenix Aluya for Naniwa. He's going to still be in this tournament, warping and zealots. Actually, it makes me excited to cast the 4th game in this series, but I actually did the 4th game first. That was on Jungle Basin. Duckload losing his defenses. This expansion hasn't paid for itself. Not very good timing on that expansion, I'd say. And this game will come to a close very shortly. GG from Whitera. Well, that was it. That pretty much came down to Whitera not responding correctly to seeing the Phoenix. He canceled the Colossi. He canceled the robotics bay. I don't know if that was that could have been a good idea. Could have been a mistake. We'll never know because we wouldn't have seen that path. And he built this Nexus, and that's 400 minerals is quite a lot. He could have gotten out a 4th gateway himself, and also once the attack came, the Phoenixes were right here, and then Nani's units were right here. If Whitera had some more sentries possibly, or if he had looked at the energy for his sentries, he could have put a force field down, held off this attack, gotten out more stalkers, taken care of those Phoenix. He could have built a couple of, I don't know, maybe he could have built a fort and I don't know, it's kind of hard to say. It's just sometimes you make sometimes in this game you gotta make split-second decisions, and sometimes they're just wrong. So experience will just teach you, what you can do and what you can't. So anyway, I'm going to end this up right now, and thanks for tuning in. There will be one more game I will be casting right now, getting my little cats and jollies in. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can be up to date on all the awesome StarCraft 2 that's going on, and cheerio.